Hey guys, I hope you had a great start to the new year. I know I've been away for some time and haven't posted in a while, but that's because life has really been lifing recently. For instance, I just got engaged, which is really exciting, and I can't wait to talk a bit more about that a bit later. But for now, welcome to Living in Our 20s, our friendship series for this year. So as a couple of you may remember that I asked you to send in some questions and scenarios that you wanted me to explore about friendships in your 20s. And so I got a huge response, which I'm very thankful for, and we'll be asking your questions to a selection of my friends today and in the coming episodes to come. So let's get straight into it. Say your name and your age.
I'm Kwame and I'm 26.
I'm Eduardo, I'm 24.
I'm Joada, I'm 25.
I'm Bucky, I'm 25.
My name is Suki and I'm 27 years old.
My name's Ashika and I'm 25.
My name's Esther and I'm 25.
I'm Ade, I'm 27.
I'm Ali and I'm 26.
I'm Mufan, I'm 28. I'm Ebenezer, I'm 27. The husband-to-be of one wife. Let's just connect that.
How did you all meet?
I'll go first. Starting with Kwame. Kwame is my god brother, so I've met him since I was a baby. Novardo. I met Novardo at Still Pans when we were teenagers. I met Jessica. Where do I begin? I met Jessica when I was 3 in the creche at church and went to the same primary school for a bit. It goes on. And I met Bucky at church as well. So, yeah.
So I met Bookie when I met Bookie from when we started going to the same church.
Yeah.
It's nearly 20 years. We were in the same cell group. And yeah, we weren't really friends, but we'll get into that later.
I met Joanna at church. I met Kwame at church. Like he said, we weren't friends, but he wants to get into that. But and I met Jess at church, but I think we connected at a church getaway.
An encounter. But overall, we all met each other at church, and that's where our friendship sort of stems from.
So we were all actually in the same Christian committee in university.
Yeah.
This was in 2017. I actually met you. I think it was the first day of Chosen, if I'm correct. And then every time I went into New Look, I just saw you there.
Oh my gosh.
Then Esther, I don't remember the first day we met, but literally I think from Freshers Week, from then on, every week we just hang out pretty much. You say you remember it being in a lecture theatre.
A lecture, yeah. I think one of the first lectures that we had, because someone had told me that, oh, there's this girl Ashika, like, oh, you need to meet her, because there was 2 Ashikas.
Oh,
there was 2
Ashikas.
Ashikas.
Like the first Ashika I know.
Yeah, there was another Ashika, but we
but
went
she was much older.
I think it was the Afro Society.
ACS.
Yeah. So I met another Ashika there.
Sorry, as I didn't say, we all met at uni, by the way. But
And then Suki committee as well. That's how we met. We met at the hall
when we were initiated.
When we were being initiated.
I didn't know any of them, and I just came and I was like, well, we're in the committee.
Here we are. How do you let your friends know you don't ever want to split the bill equally? I only ordered what I ordered. When I'm wealthy, I will pay for us all. But right now, I need the extra £5 for the bus.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
What's facts?
You don't understand that.
How do you let them know though? The thing is, even when I'm wealthy, I don't know if I'm paying for everything like that. I appreciate everything that everybody's done, but guys, I'm not gonna lie.
That's actually what you would say as well.
Yeah,
I appreciate what everyone's saying.
Exactly what you're saying.
That's exactly what you're saying. So. No, I can't lie to you. It wouldn't be much different than that. It would literally be like, man, I can't lie to you. I got the 5 wings, mac and cheese, and the chips on the side. You man that were doing woo in there, passion fruit, no palaver. You man that were opening your lungs to every cocktail that was there.
So I don't drink. So like, if we go out and people buy alcohol, and they tell me to split the bill, I'm not feeling that because I didn't pay for any of this. I didn't drink any of this. So So, I enjoy the mental math, so I'm happy to look at the bill and calculate.
So how do you deal with that then? Do you say anything?
I think you just say it up front because like, I got nothing to hide. It's like, I'm not going to pay for this. I didn't buy it. But I can't lie. To be fair, the question is when your financial situation is up. Yeah. Obviously, you're happy to like cater to your friends and stuff. But yeah, we're not there yet. So.
Fair enough.
I think just tell them straight.
Tell them straight up that you don't want to pay.
That you don't want to pay.
Have you guys ever been in that situation before?
No, if anything, we just pay for what we've ordered. But I heard a story where there were a group of 6 people and the bill came up to maybe over £600-700.
What did they order? Oh my gosh!
Initiated.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just split the bill.
No.
But who is that convenient for? The person who ordered the most?
You know, and they probably ordered the highest expensive
exactly.
things if you're getting used to bring it that. Yeah.
So even the person who was telling the story, they were like, this is why when I'm at home, I feel my belly, I go out, I know what I'm going to order, and I tie my stomach. Because I have a budget, and that's fine. Letting your friends know, you know, I have a budget. I might just order starter, main or dessert. That's it. That's in terms of splitting the bill, just communicating to your friends that, I mean, we're living in a cost of living crisis right now. And people can be doing that, but just communicating to them that at the moment I can only afford to pay for myself. And at the same time, you shouldn't have the expectation that a friend's going to pay for your meal when you go out. Unless that friend has stated, let's go out, I am paying for you. I've had a friend who's done that before, like when one of our friends took us out and she said, yeah, I'm going to pay for your meal. So I went with the expectation that she was going to pay for our meals. Otherwise, I wouldn't have that expectation. Because it's hard on people nowadays. When you go out, best believe you're probably going to spend like a good £30 plus on a meal.
Plus service charge.
Exactly.
But yeah, and I think it's a bit like group, when you go for group dinners or birthdays and stuff, like, as you said, that person that initiates, they need to stop initiating. Because I think it's unfair when you're like, let's just pay for this person, let's just do this, like, but we haven't agreed on that. But
But I feel like it's different with different friendship groups.
That's the thing.
So I know when I'm with all my Arabs, I'm struggling to even pay for anything. I'm not going to lie to you. We're all trying to fight to pay for stuff.
Yeah, quite generous,
But then, more time, I'm the one that's probably ordered the most on the menu. So, for me to split equally with everyone,
it's a treat for you.
I'm saving money.
The thing is, and I think that's the thing as well, actually. For me, if it's like, I feel like situation and like the situation that I'm in will really determine my answer. Because if it's like, okay, I know I've spent less than most people, but I know I have the money to pay for it, then I'll just be like, you know what, it's okay, I don't mind splitting. At the same time, I'll never be the one to initiate, let's split the bill, if I know that I've spent the most. Because I feel like that's just bare cheeky. Like,
it is.
Because even, bro, sometimes before I can step into a restaurant, I'm over budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I know I shouldn't even be here right now, but you know what I'm saying?
Also, understand your pocket. If your friends are always like, let's split the bill, and if you voice up that, like, actually, I can only afford what I paid for or whatever, and they're like, side-eyeing you, then maybe I'm not always coming out to eat with you guys if you guys aren't going to respect my wishes. So also adjust when you go out with them. If it's not, if they don't all agree or accept your decision, then you might have to not always be going out with them. Because some people will say, well, stay at home if you can't afford it. And it's like, I can afford mine, I just can't afford yours, you know?
I didn't plan to pay for you today, you know, 100%.
But and if I think the key thing is if they don't respect that, then that's when you now have to be assessing in your head, like,
is this a good friend?
It won't work because, like, I know you can enjoy, but like, if I say this is my, like, this is what I can enjoy up to, then I still want to come and be friends and be enjoying with you, but that's just my budget. So if they can't accept that, then that's when I'll be like,
When there is conflict or disagreements in friendship groups, how do you pick which side to take, or is being neutral and keeping quiet the best way?
Conflict in friendship groups.
Shall think.
That's the worst.
I mean,
did you say that's the worst?
Keeping quiet and I think it's the worst way. So.
Yeah, it's not good to keep quiet, especially if you observe different stuff, etc. You know, right from wrong. I don't think taking sides is really a good thing, because at the end of the day, you're all friends in the same circle. Say you decide to tag team with one person or agree with her or him, then that's going to affect your friendship or relationship with the other person. So I think It's good to be honest, and just say it as it is, whether they like your opinion or not. And not really going to take sides and just going to, you did this, you did that, this is the situation, we're all mature, how are we moving forward?
That's true.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a bit awkward when maybe you can sense there's a bit of, this one's not really agreeing, this one doesn't like, but just observe from the outside and give your input, and but taking sides isn't the best, because who knows, the friends that are arguing could end up being friends again, then you could be on your own, so you've got to be mature and observant.
It really does, doesn't it? I feel like it depends on the conflict.
I will lie, I'm never the one to keep quiet. I'm never the one to keep quiet. I'm just saying, no, but it's not even like I take a side immediately. I'm just like, everyone say your side. I'm the kind of person, everyone get it out. No,
are you trying to say, what's the word when people, are you trying to mediate what's going on, or just trying to understand?
Not even mediate, but it's like, get into the first half of that question as soon as possible, where it's like, we can actually make a judgment. Do you get what I mean? And say who's right or who's wrong. Some people like to, they'll hold on to their cards as if this is I don't know, poker. And it's like, we don't have time for this. Clearly you're vexed. And the thing is that when, between our group, we know when someone is vexed. We know how we all are when we're vexed. Everyone, trust me. So it's like, it's just best, everybody just get your stuff out in the group chat. Like, if you want to write paragraphs, you know, let me know where it started as well. Because some people, they're collecting receipts from time.
So you're the kind of friend to make sure that everybody gets out. So you will intervene in the conflict. Does that make sense? And try to figure out what's happening.
I think I would always side to the side of truth, in my opinion. Okay. Having learned what the whole situation is, I would say that I would just lean on truth, and you know, obviously consider people's sensitivity as well is important as well. Like,
my face, like, I can see that. I can see the time.
That's Ade. Ade, he'll lead on to the side of truth here, but the sensitivity thing is exactly him.
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
So whoever's more sensitive about the issue, whoever seems like more of the victim, to be honest, Ade leans more to that person.
Do you agree?
Wait. I didn't know you were going to say
that. See, the person who... Okay, let me rephrase that. Because not necessarily... So the person might not be the victim, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, what if there's multiple truths?
That's what I was going to say.
So that's where I said the sensitivity... I always said the sensitivity thing. I was like, that is like...
Nevada?
Yeah, man. Like, I think there's different sides to it, innit? Because sometimes you like, depending on your personalities, you can leave two friends to go through the goal and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in that instance, it's cool to just step back because you know they'll just figure it out. But I think if you're in the middle, then use that position you have to sort it out.
You say it's never good to not get involved.
I feel like,
or to at least check in or something. I don't know. How would you see? What do you guys see getting involved meaning? I guess.
I think they were friends at stopping it from escalating.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm trying to think of our group now. Because the way we're answering these questions, are we answering them like
I want you to answer from your
for me, in our group,
because our group is
no, but I feel like
we'll go in on everyone.
See, there's some people in our group, we know them. See, they will tell you, don't get involved. Literally, the arm would, you almost feel the arm stretch out.
You know what it is for me? I feel like it's important to step in when you see something's going like way out of proportion, right? At the end of the day, conflict is natural, but conflict should always be handled reasonably. So two people discussing what went wrong. The moment it starts flying out of that, people need to step in and just actually correct them on the right path. Now, when it comes to whether or not I'm neutral or not, similar to what Ade said, it depends on the truth.
Yeah.
So if somebody literally walked up to somebody else and banged them in the face, sorry, I know it's just very random. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But if somebody did something that's clearly wrong, I think it's important for people to address that and actually to correct the individual and say, listen, what you did was wrong. And everybody knows what you did was wrong. You can't play a victim here.
And what would you say, sorry to cut you there, love, and what would you say, and what about if it was a situation like that and nobody got involved? Like everybody in the friendship group saw something got happened, but it was just like they just didn't get involved. Or even if it wasn't that escalated, let's just say there was a conflict and nobody got involved. What would you How would you guys feel about that?
But the thing is that if you were privy to what kicked it off, then I feel like automatically the way our group is, people will just naturally step in. That's why I'm just trying to picture what kind of situation. Is it just conflict between people within the group?
Yeah, within the friendship. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, definitely people would step in. I agree, 100%. But if it's a situation where it's like, let's say a couple now, so like someone in the group and their partner.
I think in that way, because that one's
that's obviously a personal situation, but like even then we're still, and we're getting better, to be honest. We're actually very good at keeping each other accountable. If it's like, more times if people have issues even with their partners outside, like obviously someone in the group and their partner, they would actually bring it into the group. Still, they would mention it to someone in the group, and then it kind of stays in the group, sort of thing. But obviously it'll be a while after, when the person actually mentions it and stuff. But yeah, like even on that standpoint, I feel like because our group, we actually kind of trust each other with confrontation anyway. Like we never let a confrontation like upset the stability of the group, and what's it called? We never let it boil over. Like if we deal with it, we're dealing with it right there and then, sort of thing. So which is why I'm just like, I don't think there's really a conflict that we haven't taken on.
Yeah. Still though, I agree, but I still feel like if we're talking about our group specifically as well, I still feel like there's times within our group as a setting, where we can see wrong but we don't address it.
Next question. A situation has happened that has caused two friends to go separate ways. It could have been miscommunication or feedback taken wrongly. How do you try to rebuild that friendship if you feel like it was a valuable one that ended prematurely?
I think it definitely starts with having a conversation, but I think the conflict may have arisen from expectations not being communicated. And as a result of that, assumptions being made. Because, for example, if I expect something from you, but I haven't communicated that to you, either of us are going to make an assumption based on something. But I think in terms of actually resolving the conflict itself, whether it's unmet expectations, uncommunicated expectations, whatever it is, it has to start with having a conversation, understanding where you're both at, identifying what went wrong, and stating your expectations, making them clear. I also think it's important that in a friendship you have regular check-ins. So what have we done well this month? What could we have improved on? What are your expectations? So we're constantly aware of what the other person expects. I mean, every month it might not always work.
I was gonna say, what?
Yeah, it might be a bit much. Some people actively do that, but some people actively do that. Even if it's every 3 months, every 6 months, just assessing the friendship. But I actually have been through a situation where I thought my friendship with someone was going to end, and we even had a conversation about it, from where the issue first started right to how it was at that time. And we're pinpointing where things went wrong, where we miscommunicated, having unmet expectations or unrealistic expectations, and then coming to the conclusion that this is what I'm able to do, this is what I'm not able to do. This is how I like to be respected, and vice versa. It's not going to be easy, especially after you've had a conflict, to then be all rosy again. But once you've had that conversation, you can build from there as well.
I think as well, like that's a great scenario of you guys communicating and you guys being all rosy and coming back together. But there are situations where you don't actually come back together. That friendship was seasonal, and
this is true.
It's run its course kind of thing. I'm sorry,
it's time to go, it's time to bounce,
But yeah, so you kind of have to come to terms with that as well. That the friendship has actually ended, you've gone your separate ways. Yeah, you can be, if you see each other outside, you can say hi and catch up, small catch up. But in terms of going back to that place, it might be hard for the both of you to get to that place. Or you've both come to terms with the fact that the friendship's, done. Basically.
Sounds like there needs to be discernment on whether it's a friendship that you should try to repair or not. And then based off of that, I think the first thing is time, because it depends on what the miscommunication was. Even though there was a miscommunication, someone's feelings might have been hurt at the end of the day, and so it's not going to be easy for them to just get over it and to now be like, okay, let's try and repair this if I've now got trust issues with you.
And the amount of boundaries out as well.
Yeah.
So like, I can't trust you. So.
Yeah, so I think time is the first one. And being intentional about still checking in on that friend. If you did voice, you had that conversation, obviously, when you then had the fallout or the miscommunication, and you said, but I still want to be friends with you. Like, I'm sorry I did this thing or XYZ. I don't know what that looks like, but like, if you're still willing to do that, then we can see how that happens. Because I think if both parties are actually interested, one time can help just them to process what's happened. And also, you can still check in on each other. Like, you guys are friends. It wouldn't be weird if in a month's time I give you some space and I'm like, hi, just checking in to see that you're still okay. Because I feel like that also helps to restart it. And it won't be as like constant or as often as it was before, but that will help to kickstart the friendship again. And then it's like, so just about rebuilding that friendship basically from ground zero up. And sometimes, like you were saying, Esther, it depends on if that's something you should do or not. And that's a decision for you to kind of think about. But when it's about re-engaging with that person, I think time and then just being consistent in following up and having the eyes to see if this person's giving you one word answers, leave them alone.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, what happens if it's like, but I want to be your friend,
if they are like, you need to also be pushing out. It's not by force that they're your friend. So if there's, for them, you are the only one now engaging and initiating conversations, then take the hint that unfortunately on this occasion it just isn't, or at least right now, you never know in the future they could come back and hit you up.
You see 3 of your friends always hanging out, but you're not invited. You go to their birthday celebrations and everything is cool, but those odd link-ups where you're not called are frequent. How would this make you feel, or how would you react to this?
Joanna.
What would you say?
Why?
Well,
what
what haven't I seen in this life? How would you? Well, obviously everyone's gonna feel some type of way because why is it only? This is gonna be funny when this comes out. But boy,
speak the truth, guys.
Flavor, I tell the truth, guys. But it's a bit awkward because why is it when it's birthdays we're all we're buddies, we're together, let's all come as one, but then you're gonna have a private link up like where was my invite? I mean, maybe wrong, maybe for doing something that I might not like. Cool, you guys can, but if it's frequent, then it makes me think, are we birthday friends or what's the friendship? But I've seen it a couple times, and sometimes don't get me wrong, sometimes it is a bit sad because you're thinking, first of all, maybe I knew this friend before you, or we've all been friends for a long time, so why wasn't I invited? But at the birthday we're all seen together, but now you're separate. I don't know, but long and short of it, it is kind of sad when you see like some friends hanging by themselves and you're not there. So but it's to be expected in this adult life, isn't it?
I mean, you'll definitely feel like some type of way. I think that's inevitable because I think even as you mature, like you actually just want to be a part of your friend's life. It's not you want to be invited to X. You actually just want to be involved. You want to be on the journey with them, innit? And I think one thing I've thought about and sort of like had to navigate is like, what is my relationship with each individual? Because if you man are still linking up or whatever, or still talking, then like you have that clarity as to where you stand. Whether you go to because sometimes there is that case where it's like you get invited, you don't get invited to stuff because they know this isn't really how you mess around or something. But I think having that, looking to still hold on to those individual relationships is important because like you do have to ask the question like, is what is worth holding on to, sort of thing, and whether you still want to be invested in these friends. And if the answer is yes, then like still do it, innit?
But then another thing that I just thought of, do you know what's annoying? When some, let's say 3 link up and you're not invited, then you're all together at the birthday, let's say, and then they have the cheek to be like, oh, you never come out when we're out. Oh, you're never around. What? You're never around. Or, where we go? And I said at one point, I was like, but where's my invite? You don't invite me. Like, literally, but like, why we like it? You just spat your water. I'm being real here.
What is your opinion on situations where people get into relationships and their partner tells them to suddenly cut off a long-time friend? I say they need to go.
What's the reason for the partner wanting their partner to cut off that long-term friend?
What if their partner noticed that that friend actually has some traits that's not good in them, or they can see how that friend might be a bit controlling over their friend? Like, let's say it was just negative parts that they saw with the friend, and then the partner's just realizing that friendship and going, you know what, I don't think this person's good for you. But then I guess the flip side is like, but you've known, again, you've known Siki for a long time. Will you listen to your partner and what they're saying? So I think, I don't know if that helps, if it was that sort of a situation where,
negative.
If there's negative traits that the partner can see, but you might have also seen yourself, but you might just brush it away. Because sometimes people do that for fear of arguments and it causing a problem.
But is that for a season? Have they seen that person be that way in a season and then make a judgment of that? Or is that genuinely that person? Is it genuinely that person's character or personality? Because if it is, there's a difference. And then did other people see that
in that person?
Exactly.
It's mixed. It's tough.
How strongly is the partner wanting you to cut the friend
as
well? Like, is he always hammering on it? Like, when he sees the friend, is he looking at her sideways, not saying hello, being rude to her in some way? Like, how is it? Like, is he saying, you need to cut her off, you need to cut her off, you need to...
With no reason. I think that's,
real reason? Like, I think,
I feel like when it's a situation where because I feel like this question is, it sounds like it is a thing of the partner doesn't really have a reason, it's just like let's assume that they don't like them and they're like, you need to cut them off. I think then your partner, you need to question your partner. Whereas when it's the other way, where it's like, what we sort of explained, where it's like, oh, they're seeing traits in their friend and they're like, I don't think this is good. Well, I guess, would you listen to your partner if that was the case, if you guys were in that situation? If your partner was like, one of your girls here, I don't like them, or I don't like this about them, I think you need to speak out,
I would want to get to the root of that, because why don't you like that friend? Like, what issue do you have with them? Did something happen before you know me? I mean, so, why don't you know that? That happens, but like, what do you know that I don't know?
You don't know about this person, or
But I think you have to assess for yourself. You can't just make a judgment based on what your partner said. You have to assess that for yourself. Even assessing before you have a conversation with that friend, because that could shift a whole lot of things.
And it'd be like, where'd you get it from? Your partner, then they'll hate your partner, and then it causes a problem.
But would I listen to them? I would rather make my own judgment first.
Because I was going to say as well, do you ever feel like, if you guys were in a relationship, do you ever feel like, what's it called? Would you feel like you trust your partner's opinion more than your friends, or vice versa?
I guess it depends in what context.
Okay.
Sticky one still. I think, as you're saying, I wouldn't cut it off. I wouldn't just be like, you don't know her or you don't know him. I would take it into account, because as you're saying, genuinely there might be something I've missed that he's seeing or noticing that I am, because we've been friends for so long, you're just my girl or you're just my guy, and so therefore there's like a smoke screen. So I would be like, okay, cool, thanks for letting me know. And like you said, then it would be about, okay, I'm watching, I'm assessing, and then I'll make my own judgment. And like you were talking about, the season is important, because some people go through hard times and they just be acting different to how they usually act. And for them to then, obviously, unfortunately, your partner's then see that person or that friend at that time. Obviously, you understand why he might say that, but it might be like, actually, there's some things you don't know that's happening. That might be why she's acting out of character. This isn't usually how she acts. But settings, all that stuff is important.
Have you ever cut off a friend? If so, why? And is this the best thing to do?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Why did you cut them off?
Have you cut people off, man?
Why did you cut them off? Look at you! I'm coming for you! I'm in the bottom.
I've blocked Bookie a couple of times, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that anymore, though, man. That's a lie. I do.
Okay, why did you cut people off? What was it that was making you cut people off?
It all depends, innit? But sometimes, sometimes in my past year, I'll block somebody, but sometimes I'll be blocking somebody because I think they're going to do something that's been done to me already.
So there's something that's already been done to you by that same person?
Nah, someone else. So it's like they might be acting like, and they've done, we have an issue or whatever, and they've done something, which is like, it's still a thing that they've done. It's not as bad as to get cut off and blocked, innit? But I assume it's going to be something else. So I just block them, do you know what I'm saying? But that's not cool, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're letting your trauma
affect your friendship and that.
Yeah.
Can I cut people off? Yes. I cut Nevada off. I mean, he cut me off first.
Yeah, let's get it right.
This is the friendship, by the way, guys.
No, but then, but then you're the one that came back to me first, though.
Is it?
Okay, why did you cut Nevada off?
Tell the
I
truth.
can't lie. Wait, I said, is it? I didn't say no.
What had happened was...
No, you came to Jessica and asked for my number.
Yeah, no, I did still, because you know
after you cut him off.
After he cut me off, I was good.
So hold on, I thought you just said that you cut him off.
No, you wasn't good.
Okay, he cut you off.
You wasn't good.
And he was cut off. Like,
then you cut him off.
Nah, but,
like there was no
communication.
Yeah, so I was good to continue on.
Is she lying?
You say I'm lying?
No,
I'm
saying you said you was good.
I got over it.
Oh yeah.
And then when I was over it, then that's when you came and said, "Hey, let's be friends."
Trust me.
Nah, that's facts. Do you know what it is? Like, all jokes aside, obviously you cut her up whatever. Then like it was during lockdown times, isn't it? So I had a lot of time to think. I was like, do you know what? Bookie's actually a good person.
That's right. I'm a good friend.
She's not a perfect person, but she's a good person. Like, it's very all seriousness. There's very few in this life here. You gotta keep good people close, innit? She's a good person. So I was like, yo, like cool. I don't have issues, but it might not even things that I might have thought she had done or whatever for certain reasons might not even been what I thought she was trying to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
So a lot of it was based on like assuming what she might do to you or doing that you wouldn't like. So that's why you cut her off. Okay, cool. Yeah, so. And do you think that was the best thing to do looking back on it now?
Nah, but probably nah. It might have been good for that time, but nah.
I think it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might have been good for that time.
I think our friendship dynamic needed to change.
Yeah.
So then, let me ask: is this really? Were you cutting them off, or were you taking a break from that friendship?
No, he was cutting me off.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Do not talk to me," and he meant it.
Do you want to comment anything to share on that?
Do you want to be good? Yeah.
No, have I cut someone off? I can't even remember. Maybe, but I've kept my distance. Maybe not cut off in a different scenario, but I've kept my distance from some people for reasons. And I have been cut off as well for no apparent reason. Yeah. Because people don't like to communicate. People don't like to say what they're thinking. So, yeah, but each to their own. I've kept my distance from some people, let's say that, for valid reasons.
How do you tell a stubborn friend that they are wrong?
So,
He's a child.
So, really and truly, if they're stubborn, you just say it to them. And they're probably not going to listen.
But are you ever fearful to let that person know, even though they might have that stubborn? Because I think maybe
I'm just imagining that they're stubborn.
Let them not. Let's say the stubborn person's actually in the wrong, because I think that's what the question's asking. If they were wrong, how do you address it to them, knowing that they are quite stubborn? How do you?
I think it's more in my actions. Rather, I'm quite terrible with communicating to a stubborn person. So. My actions would just reflect that I am very angry with you.
Okay, so you're more of a... so that's fair. That's how it works.
You will understand. You will understand throughout time. In my head, it's more of a right. I'm going to tell this person that what they've done wrong.
Yeah.
I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to accept the fact and chill out, and that's it. I'm just going to distance. And it's not the best.
It's not the best, but it's how you handle it.
I just realise that I'm wasting my time, and I'm just like, okay.
That's right. That's
right. Like, it depends who it is, though. If you really love the person,
they're worth fighting for.
Yeah.
My thing is like, so if somebody's stubborn, I think the most important thing is first let it be known
that they're stubborn.
Not that they're stubborn, but rather say what you need to say to them.
Yeah.
And then if they don't accept it, then you just have to move on, innit? Because really and truly, with stubborn people, there's just no getting through to them. But the thing is, for me...
Are they good friends?
But for me, the thing is, for me, fam, I will be badgering that person with my point of view, you know, that's the thing.
What, till they accept it?
Until they accept it.
I'm so happy you said that.
I'll badger
that issue.
I swear on everything. I will not
always talk about like peacemaking.
I know what you need to do.
You need a peacemaker.
Really and truly.
Did you say he's not a peacemaker?
Really and truly, if somebody
doesn't have time.
If somebody's done something wrong, and I'm trying to tell them, listen, you've done this wrong, and they're saying to me, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
I swear on everything. I will list it out. I will bring out points. I will explain
Ebenezer, that kind of guy.
I'll break it down to you.
Hammer and nail. He's just dead. Until it goes.
But I'm chiseling away from. I'll be chiseling at your psyche. Just like, listen, you need to understand.
And has it worked?
Nah, it never worked. I'm not gonna lie. It actually never works.
Yeah, I just think there's power in numbers as well. So if it's just one stubborn person and you trying to relay your point or to tell them that they're being stubborn here, it might be less effective. It might be very like just in one ear out the other kind of thing. But if there's numbers like within your friends, sometimes if you're all within the same perception that that person's just being stubborn, that might be more. They might be more inclined to hear and understand that and see they're wrong in that regards.
What do you do if you find out your friend's significant other is cheating? What do you do if you find out your friend's significant other is cheating?
Your friends.
I'm telling.
It's basically their boyfriend or their girlfriend. If you see that they're cheating,
tell them. Of course.
I'm confronting them as well.
Would you tell the boyfriend or girlfriend they're with, or would you confront your friend? How would you?
I'm telling everybody.
I am.
I'm telling everybody.
First of all, going to fight.
You know what I'm saying?
And then I'm gonna drag your ass.
Oh damn.
To my friend and be like, this woman, she cheating.
Okay, fair enough. You got silent.
Oh my goodness.
Why would you do that?
When we say significant other,
their partner, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, or even their. I don't think there's no. It's not specified. It's just whoever they're with.
So girlfriend.
Why does it matter if it's
Yeah,
girlfriend?
it definitely matters.
So you're telling me that you wouldn't tell if somebody
I feel like it's different.
married?
I feel like it's different approach.
So interesting.
So I have different approaches to everything.
Okay, then give them your approach to it.
So interesting.
I don't know. Is it just?
But why is it different? Is cheating not cheating?
It's cheating is cheating. I say different approaches. I don't think it's. I feel like wrong is still wrong. But when I say different approaches, I mean different approaches. So if it's your husband, why?
If it's your friends, remember you saw your friends.
Yeah, I see my friend cheating or being cheated on.
Your friend's being cheated on.
So I've seen my friend being cheated on. I would approach her, his significant other, and say, listen,
being that they're married.
Yeah, being that they're married, I say, listen, I know what you did. I think you need to tell your husband because he needs to know.
Yeah.
And in a way, I'd almost give her an ultimatum in the sense of you need to tell him because.
If they're married.
That's if they're married. If
boyfriend.
If they're girlfriend and boyfriend, I'm telling my guy.
Why? What's the difference? Why is your approach different?
Because
that's interesting.
I think in that situation there,
it's your respect for it.
It's not my respect for it per se, but it's more so like there's a covenant when you're married, when you're husband and wife that I need to honor. I can't just jump into that and start lighting things up. Yeah, that's mad. Like, it's not my space to do that.
No,
it's for her to be
on the truth about it. He's calm with destroying that relationship.
But as boyfriend and girlfriend,
but he's not calm with destroying the marriage.
You do not have that covenant. So I will tell you, listen, bro, this is what I saw. You need to speak to her.
Yeah, I'll give him a deadline. You got 72 hours.
I'd speak to the significant other and then I'd collect my receipts and then I would take it to my friend, because there's no point you dropping an accusation and then again they can patch it up, make it up, and you're seen as the you're jealous of my relationship, you admitted this, I've got evidence, like this is what your man did to you, this is what your girl did to you. Make sure you have your evidence because people can switch. People can change within a finger click. So.
Yeah, I think there's a wisdom to not rush in terms of like what Joanna said. That's
assume, be sure.
Yeah. You can't. Because I mean, because stuff can look funky and it is out of place, but it's not cheating. You know what I mean?
But wouldn't you?
What do you mean it's out of place? But if something can look
let's say like they're texting somebody. They're texting somebody a lot, but they haven't linked up. They haven't seen them. They haven't done. But that is, I think there is like, because you can't go run and say. You can run and say what you've seen, and then there's that conversation. But jump, I don't know. You know, like
you don't want to just jump.
Yeah, people can jump.
Okay,
like
cool.
you might assume you might not be the person to jump. But you might be the person who does jump. So yeah. I think what Joanna said in terms of collecting information, but I think that conversation is tough, man, because you have to. Because even how would you go about communicating it? Like, do you just say it like flat out with like no emotion or?
I think you have to know your friend, innit? Yeah. Because I think your friend could react to, your friend could believe you straight away, your friend could be that friend that's like, why are you lying? As you said, why are you jealous of my relationship? Where it's coming from? Because sometimes people don't want to believe the truth you're actually saying because it hurts. So, but I don't know. What for you does it matter if it's husband or wife, or is it like how would you approach?
It's the same.
It's the same. Go on, Ali.
Boyfriend, girlfriend. Just I'll tell my guy if they're married, and I had a relationship like that with his wife.
Yeah.
Then I would tell her and give her the same deadline. If I didn't have a relationship with her, then I would just tell him.
Yeah, I probably just tell him. Yeah, you're right.
The one thing I'll add to that actually. I would tell her to tell him that I know that I was the one who caught you. Because no, I can't tell you what's his credit. No, it's not that. Because see, I can't lie to you. When you're caught there and when you're the one confessing, you might now twang and twist it to now make it seem like, oh, it was the guy who basically, do you get what I mean? It was the guy, the guy that's the question mark guy that you cheated on, that basically put it or pressed it on you. You might switch and turn your lies there. So if you tell him, if you tell my boy that I caught you as well, he'll come and he'll clarify for me. Because everything would have been told. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. That'll be an access for full truth.
What if he doesn't believe you?
What if he doesn't believe me?
Then it comes
that's your own. That's your own.
And that comes back to the stubborn friend.
I don't need to be getting involved with this right now.
That's the stubborn friend question again, isn't it?
If I've shined the light into your eye, you're still choosing to look into the darkness.
That's your own.
It's your own.
I can't help you.
That's your own.
How would you want to be told though?
That's a good question.
Like hypothetically in a different world.
If it was either you or Joanna telling me, you just need to tell me in person.
Just tell me.
Just tell me.
Do you want me to sit you
down? Just sit me down, show me the evidence. Because I think I think I need to see. I'd be like, I'm knowing you two, because I trust you both. I'd be like, okay, who is it? Where's this happened? What have you? I'd be questioning what you've been seeing. Like I think so. As Joanna said, for me, I need to see and I need to know.
I don't even need to hide. If I want to find out something, I'll find it out.
I think you should hide. You don't want them to see you before they come and change the
You think I'd be seen? I won't be seen. I won't be seen. But I'll find out what I need to find out.
I mean, you also have to like. I mean, I think obviously, like, we met through church and stuff. Like, I think it would be wise to like pray about it as well, because you don't know how your friend will react.
Oh yeah, I forgot about prayer.
Because like, because if you don't think you'll react in certain situations until you're stuck in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
What are you praying for?
If that they stay
discernment.
They stay like they don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Don't go say something mad. Go do something mad.
Yeah.
Lose their mind.
Tell me, man. Hit me with it as soon as possible. Tell me. Don't even try to hug me.
He said, "Don't hug me." Just
rip the band-aid off, man.
Tell me.
Just do it.
Are you gonna start crying?
Nah, not in front of you. Maybe at some point. Like 2 weeks later, more into work.
No, because you shouldn't hug me. Like,
true. Well, they might need the hug though.
Yeah.
Don't hug me, man. Just hit me with it. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
No, that's a bad friend.
Nah, man.
Well, I can't lie to you. One last thing though.
Yeah.
If it's girlfriend, boyfriend, I'm so interested to see what the man will say, because I think the man are so different.
Does it matter to you? You mean and the rest of them?
Yeah. Cheating is cheating. Let's be real.
You
have to go through the girlfriend, boyfriend stage to get to the marriage stage. So
it's not like one heart is broken.
Exactly. Less. Extra thank God bless.
Come on, man.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I believe that some men, and it's not even from what I've seen personally, but I think some men are a bit more, they're a lot more cautious. So they might not even say anything.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting for me. I'm just like,
huh? I'll give it a deadline.
I'll definitely say something.
I know who you're talking about as well. I know who he's talking about.